It's all guys, it's all.
All right, we are live. All right, so James Kennington here with Better Me Nation. We're doing a protein bar tasting, and we've got a bunch of people here helping out. We've got Laura Erickson, we've got Eric over here, Micah, Greg, and Greg, Steve. All right, so we are tasting 30 different protein bars today. Some of them questionable on the protein count. Well, four of them are, but they're advertised as protein bars, so we included them. And we're going to taste them, and we're going to see which ones we actually like, which ones we don't like. And then in between, we're going to talk a little bit about what goes into most protein bars and what of it is good for us. Is any of it bad for us, and things we should avoid, or things that if it's in there, hey, that's a good sign, right? So anyways, we're just going to dive right in. Eric, what's the first bar that we're tasting?
Okay, the first one is Zone Perfect.
Zone Perfect. All right, cool. So while we all kind of taste these, I want to talk about like what is protein. Greg, you want to take the lead on this? Like, what is protein?
Yeah. Protein, one of the major macronutrients used to assist with muscle synthesis. So,
Hold on. I asked him a question as we all just put food in our mouths. I did not think about that detail in this event. Okay.
All right, it's gone. Okay. Yeah, so protein is one of the major top three macronutrients used in muscle synthesis. So as you work out, you make like micro tears in your muscles, and as you consume protein, that kind of helps you repair them bigger and stronger, and that's how you kind of grow muscle and increase in size.
All right.
Yeah.
So the big thing we need notes about our muscle repair and growth. Laura, would you add anything to that? Because not everybody wants to be bulky, right?
Yeah.
Why is muscle important to us if we're 60, 70 years old?
Well, you lose it when you get older. So the biggest thing is, obviously you have to consume it. You can't just take something out of the air and create it. So if you're not consuming the building blocks and amino acids, the essential amino acids, which is, it'll be interesting to see if any of these give you, they don't give you the 9 essential amino acids, which I'm sure we're going to talk about a little bit. But you do need those building blocks to create muscle, like you said, with repair and stuff. So you've got to have protein in your diet.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right, we'll continue on with this, but let's rate this. So this was the, which one was this again?
Zone Perfect.
Zone Perfect. All right.
And it's fortified with 19 vitamins and minerals. So that's good.
Yeah.
20 grams of protein in that.
All right.
14.
Laura, what score do you give this?
Like
What's 1 to 5?
2. 2. I'm not a fan. It's just got a lot of, because when I choose protein bars, if I'm consuming, a lot of times I'll consume it in a race or after. I don't like things that,
Right.
it's the texture. Like,
Yeah,
because right now I have a bunch of stuff in my mouth still,
Yeah.
and I don't like that personally, so like 2 for me. The flavor was not bad, but I don't like to have a residual stuff in my mouth.
That's a good point.
Because I do racing and training, and I don't want.
You gotta drink more water.
And if I'm
Right.
using this, because we were talking about protein being on the go. If I'm using this, even from one thing to the next, which is my life a lot, and so I don't have stuff in my teeth when I'm at my next thing, and I'm like, trying to get stuff out of my teeth.
Well, you talked about racing, but just even life. This for me was gritty, and I wanted to get a drink of water, which then, yeah, I'm gonna have water with me possibly or in an aid station, but what if I don't, right? What if I'm just at an aid station and I'm heading out or I'm mid-race, I gotta work at clearing
Getting
it
it
out,
out.
right? This is just gritty.
Yeah, it's
It
not-
reminded me of something freeze-dried. It's kind of away from like, it was really dry
Good point.
and.
And chocolate's not real,
Freeze-dried texture to it. and
All right.
I'd give it a 2 as
You
well.
give it a 2?
Waxy,
All right.
not my favorite.
I'll stay with 2 as well.
You're gonna go with
It does
2?
something, but
All right. Micah?
So I'll actually go a little bit higher on this. I'll go with a 3 for 2 reasons. One is looking at it from more of a meal replacement, where you've got some time, you've got a little bit of gap on your protein needs for
Yeah.
the day. This is something that will give you a little bit of bump.
Okay.
But the macro breakdown, the balance of it, it's got 14 grams of protein and then 24 grams of carbs. That balance is not bad for a meal replacement, but if you're looking to fulfill your protein needs, it's actually on the lower end.
Yeah.
Especially for the calories, 240
Yeah.
calories.
Greg, what would you give this?
Yeah, I'd probably go 2 also, as you saw, I was trying to talk with it.
Yeah.
I had to drink a bit of water, yeah.
I'm gonna give it a 3 just because I kind of like that gritty stuff. I like the crunchy peanut butter, like from tuna. So I kind of like gritty, but there's only one bite. All right, what's our next bar?
So this is a dairy-free protein bar. It's called No Cow, and this is the peanut butter chocolate chip. It says 20 grams plant protein, 1 gram of sugar, 5 grams of net carbs.
All right, No
What's the
cow.
flavor? What was the flavor?
Peanut butter chocolate. I just broke.
You broke the toothpick.
That was -1.
Be careful. Remind me next a little bit extra fiber in there for me if I get the protein.
It's like Play-Doh to me.
Ooh,
Not
wow,
good.
That is a great description.
No,
Yeah, I would
It's not
definitely
my
take the
favorite.
grittiness
Yeah,
of the zone.
who left the Play-Doh out on that side?
Yeah, maybe I'll put the zone to a 3.
that's a 1, I'm sorry, that's a 1.
That doesn't even taste like chocolate or peanut butter at all.
Yeah.
That tastes like
I
Play-Doh.
think the difference here isn't it gluten-free, so you're gonna have a
Dairy-free.
different.
I don't know.
Dairy-free,
Yeah, it
gluten-free?
doesn't say gluten-free.
Dairy.
Yeah, no, pass on that one. That's a 1 for me.
All right, Laura gives
It's
it a
Play-Doh,
1.
isn't it? It looks good though.
That was a
That's-
perfect.
I thought the texture,
You gonna give it a 1 or a 0
I
or
would give it a 1.
1?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
it is gluten-free.
Yeah, so we'll clarify, this is a gluten-free bar,
Okay.
non-GMO, keto-friendly, which just means very low in carbohydrates, vegan and soy-free.
It's probably healthier than the last one we had.
It actually ranks on the healthiest end. Like when I did my research, it
and-
ranks at the top on.
For gluten-free, you know, but I don't have to choose gluten-free.
Yeah.
I would probably not go with that one. So
Ben,
for
you
me,
gave us a 1 or a
I
2?
gave it 2.
2. All right, Micah.
So I will say that gluten-free, I work with a lot of clients, a number of clients who have Hashimoto's disease, which can be inflamed with gluten. It's one of the better gluten bars that I've had.
Okay, all right.
Only
Okay.
that was saying something, I give it a 2.
Okay, Steve.
1.
1.
If that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be down there with 1. That was the Play-Doh thing was
I'm
real.
sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that.
No,
Yeah, like,
No,
yeah.
but when you said it
Hey,
though,
let's be
it
honest,
answered a lot.
right?
It answered a lot of questions. Like, what am I experiencing?
Right, yeah.
It kind of answers some
There
questions.
is a caveat with this, it does have 20 grams of protein, so that is more than the previous bar that we tried.
If you can choke it down.
If you
go
can choke
for
it down, it's also plant-based. You brought up a fantastic point on complete proteins. Typically with plant-based, we're lacking something,
Right.
which just means that our body might not synthesize all 20 grams of that protein.
Right.
So there is a give and take there.
If you tolerate that bar and you can't have it, like, you know, you've gotta make that. What I did like about it, although I didn't like the taste, there was a better texture in some regard. Like, I didn't have it left in my mouth.
Yeah, it's
The last one.
That's
It's
great.
not as
It's gone.
I
Yeah.
think you're all stretching it. That was disgusting. That's like, way to help that company out.
Just wait.
You know they're listening.
It's-
You're not paying me. I don't care. That was
It's
disgusting.
called
Let's
user
be real.
feedback, like real
Yeah,
life.
That's what you
real
want,
true.
right?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I've had a lot of protein bars, so there's certain aspects where my bar is actually really low.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
things like
That's good.
texture, so I love having that opinion.
All right, let's jump on the next one, and then we'll talk a little bit about like sweeteners.
Next one is Quest Hero Protein Bar.
Quest. All
18
right.
grams of protein, 3 net carbs, 1 sugar.
What flavor?
And it is chocolate peanut butter.
I think
They're
all
all like
chocolate peanut
butter.
butter.
Yeah, I kind of favored that when I was picking the.
I got a mint coming.
So we know what James's favorite flavor is now.
Yeah.
I like one. 200 calories.
Initially, the flavor's good, but it still leaves stuff in my mouth. And there's something about it. I'm not sure.
It tastes better like a snack bar, not like a protein. I don't. That's the other thing.
But it's what, 20 grams?
18 grams of protein,
And 3 grams?
19 grams of carbs.
Some of it's
200
cholesterol.
calories.
This is a lower cholesterol bar, you can tell. Which is something I look for in my protein bars, because oftentimes they're really high cholesterol.
It says 5 milligrams.
Yeah, so this is a lower cholesterol bar.
Mhm.
I think this is one of the better bars, to be honest. Flavor-wise, it does leave a little something in the mouth, so I don't like that part, but it tastes better.
So I believe this is actually one of the ones that does have, sugar alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yeah,
So
That's
that's
why-
where that sweetness.
That's why it tastes better from the beginning.
Yeah.
The problem with sugar alcohol.
yeah, let's have a good
is
discussion on
gastric
sugar alcohol.
distress. So when I'm working with triathletes and stuff, I tell them definitely avoid sugar alcohol because it causes gastric distress. You can often end up in the bathroom in marathons, stuff like that. And so-
Right.
And it also sometimes it prevents you from losing body fat.
Yeah, so a couple things that I've learned. Also, it has negative impacts on your liver too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that are nice about this because it's about half the calories as normal sugar for the same amount of sweet, right?
Yeah.
But long term, it can really harm you.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think people they're promoting it a lot because it helps out on your net carbs, right? I don't know how that formula works, but I know that it's got to. Do you know how the
So
formula
Well,
works?
doesn't
It's
spike your
really-
insulin, which is important. Like
Yeah.
I am borderline diabetic. I was
Okay.
gestational diabetic on insulin.
Yeah.
And so this is a bar that would be a better choice for me, just because it doesn't have all this huge amount of carbohydrate all at once. And a
Right.
basic, simple sugar is gonna hit your bloodstream a lot differently than something like a sugar alcohol first will. But then I don't really have gastric distress from it. I don't have a problem, but some people are really sensitive to that. So I just think it's something to be aware of. But
Yeah.
I definitely, that would be a 3 for me. That would be
All right.
better.
All right,
That's
so
better.
let's rate this and then you can talk a little bit more about how that formula works. All right, so Laura, you give it a 3.
Better flavor, still leaves stuff in there.
I give it a 4.
You give it a 4.
Yeah. For flavor
All right.
purposes.
I'm gonna go 3. I mean, listening to you, I should go back down to 2. It's always killing me early, but I'll stay with 3.
Micah?
I'll go with a 3 for that as well. I enjoyed the fact that it was a little bit better balanced with protein, carbs, and fats.
Okay. Greg?
I'll go for it.
4. I'm going to go a 4 as well. This has actually been one of my favorite bars that I've tried recently on the recommendation of some people, and I find myself buying a lot. So my happy hormones kick in when I see that bar. So
Tastes better too.
And Quest has been in the game for a long time too. I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think they've got a
figured it
really
out.
good story. One thing that I like to look at is how did some of these bars get started, and why were they created, right?
make money.
So some bars it's to make money, right?
I love Quest.
Talk about advertising.
Some bars it's all about money, right? And some
It's
people they're
always
like,
about me and my buddy, we got together in the garage, but then we eventually felt we wanted to make a ton of money.
Those are the better ones, the better
Yeah.
stories are
Yeah.
where it's like,
Right.
I created this for myself.
let's taste the next one while you tell us how that whole net carb thing is done. What bar is
So
this?
this is the Think High Protein
Okay,
This one here?
protein bar, yeah, right here. 20 grams of protein, 0 grams sugar, no artificial sweeteners, gluten-free, low GI.
Wow, that's a lot better. And they're gluten-free one, I'm just saying. Let me see the packaging. Yeah,
Is it also gluten-free?
is this a plant-based then? This is a
Well,
better one.
This is chocolate
Of
mint.
course, I like mint.
Yeah, it's like the flavors, the
But-
flavors are actually.
The texture on this, okay, I would buy that.
Why do you like this?
I'm giving it a 4.
okay, Laura's giving the think of 4.
Thank
And
you
it's
for this.
gluten-free, actually.
It's gluten free. It's got how many grams of protein? Was it 20?
20.
How many
Great amount of
calories?
protein.
230. How many grams of cholesterol? That's a little higher cholesterol.
0. That is
Wow.
0 milligrams.
Wow, that's rare, because usually that kind of mouthfeel you get from, what about saturated fat?
18%.
3.5.
So it's a little higher on the saturated fat. That's what you
Sugar,
taste, that's
alcohol.
why it tastes
Yeah.
good.
Sugar, alcohol, 8 grams. That's a good one.
Yeah, this is my favorite one so far.
I would definitely give this
4.
a 4 easily.
It doesn't leave too much in your mouth, it's not as much stuff.
4. Laura
What
gives
do
it
you
4.
think?
Give it a 3.
Eric, you're gonna give it a 3.
He's like, not sure about
Well,
this
I
one. Do you like mint?
I went too high, so I have to go 4.5.
4. Oh, really? Okay. 4 now.
You should have made it a 10,
Yeah,
maybe.
I think.
All
That's
right,
a good one, that's a
Steve, what do you give it?
I'm gonna stay with 3. I like it a lot better. I mean, I should probably go higher, but I'm just gonna.
He's
stay-
holding out,
I'm
'cause he
staying-
knows there's a really good one coming.
I'm gonna go 3 just because I felt like it was a little chalky for me. Like in the after, the initial, he was like, "Oh, this is good," but then I was like, "Oh, that's kind of
Left with chocolate.
yeah." All right, what's our next one, Eric?
Okay, next one is Probar protein, plant-based, 270 calories, 20 grams of protein, 32 carbohydrates.
All right, tell us about how's the formula made?
So when it comes to sugar alcohol, what you're looking at is how the body uptakes it, how it synthesizes it. And with normal alcohol, it's synthesized throughout the entire process, gets into your bloodstream. It's where we see some of our spikes and things like insulin. However, sugar alcohol doesn't get processed at all. That's where the idea of 0 calories comes in, is it just goes straight through your body. The challenge with that is that means it's a higher strain on your digestive system because it's having to go through the entire digestive system without any type of uptake. And it also has some different effects on your body's response, where your brain is saying, hey, I'm taking in something sweet, I'm taking in some sugar, so some of those markers get triggered, and it says, sweet, I should have that extra sugar, that extra energy in me, only for the body to say, just kidding, you're running on empty with that. So if you intake a lot of it, you'll definitely see some negative side effects. If it's something that you only have on occasion, then the average person is going to be fine. Again, there's people with sensitivities, there's always that caveat. But the biggest difference is sugar, your body absorbs that and wants to use it. Sugar, alcohol, it's going to pass right through your body without any type of uptake.
So it's important to think about, like, if we're doing, all these protein bars, is this something you wanna have every day? With the people I work with, I tell them, no, you shouldn't have it every, you shouldn't be having this kind of food every day. I believe it's better to get protein from natural sources.
Right.
I mean, eggs, I had an egg this morning, 68 calories, I got 6 grams, 7 grams of protein. And so that's very small amount of calories. These bars are all 200 or 300 calories. So that would equate to, almost 20 grams.
Yeah.
You had that many more eggs, 3
Right,
eggs, right? But eggs have all of the essential amino acids. There's
Right.
only 2 things in nature that have those 9 essential amino acids, eggs and breast milk. I don't think we're gonna be having breast milk. So there's at least palatable things that we can actually eat.
Right.
So eggs are cheaper. Well, they were kind of
More
expensive for a little while,
accessible.
but they're more accessible. So I think it's important to think, and nuts and seeds together create that complete protein with those 9 essential amino acids.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's important these are really good on the go, but they're not something you should have in lieu of real food, in my opinion.
Yeah. So the bar with the
That's
most
seeds.
amount of these is the Robert Irvin's. He loads them up. So
With alcohol sugars?
yeah, his has the most of all of them. Yeah, it's something interesting I noticed when I went across. All right, let's rate this bar here. This was the Pro Bar, right? Yeah. I gave it a 1.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, I do too.
It was interesting that was the mint chocolate, and I have the other mint chocolate.
2.
It's flavor.
Different flavors.
Steve gave it. You said a 2.
Yeah.
2, I would work on eating that.
Yeah, I definitely.
What'd you give it, Eric? 2.
Oh,
Greg, what'd you give it?
Give it a 2.
2. Micah.
I'm a 2 on this as well. It's balanced, 20 grams of protein, 32 grams of carbs.
I just found it very hard just to. I just found it hard to even eat even that little square. I was like, this is going to be a chore
That
for
would
my
take some
mouth.
work to eat, the whole thing.
It's funny because oftentimes the protein bars with higher carbs will have a better taste. That was
interesting.
definitely not the case with that one.
No.
All right, what's our next bar?
This is the True Bar cookie dough. 190 calories, 12 grams protein, no gluten, no dairy, no soy, no alcohol, and then it says all delicious, but it doesn't sound delicious. Leaving all of that out.
I give it a 5 for the name though. I really like the name.
Cookie dough?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We're back to the Play-Doh texture.
Yeah, we are, but this one's better than that one.
It's look at kind of a chemical type of taste to it.
It started off strong,
It
but.
started out good,
Mhm.
but the more I chewed it, kind of. the worse
That's
it got.
interesting you say that because True Bar, like it sounds like in that name True, like oh, it's gonna be some pretty real ingredients here, but it scores really low on. Well, it has a lot of preservatives and a lot of additives in it.
You can taste that.
Doesn't taste like either.
What finishes?
I love this. The protein's not even the first ingredient listed. So that's always
In a
a
protein bar,
questionable
what is
sign
it?
in a protein bar.
Yeah.
Tapioca fiber and cassava blend.
That's what you're tasting.
Yeah.
Is that difference? That's why it's a gluten-free.
Yeah. so it's
Yeah.
great.
Or I would
Which,
say
which
it's
granted, like
better
the
for
tapioca and
gluten-free,
cassava is not bad for, I mean, it's pretty good for you, right? Isn't it generally, except for the cassava
Yeah.
are
Yeah,
really
neither
good.
of these are bad things to
Replacement.
be right at the top or to be high up.
Right,
But when you look at it, it's got 12 grams of protein. Most of these bars are gonna have
16 to
And how many
23.
calories in
Yeah.
that whole thing?
190.
All right, so let's rate this
It's
one.
not
Where are we
like
at?
it's smaller.
Where you at, Laura?
I don't know, I would give it a 3 just because it's gluten-free. It's better than the other one was.
2.
I don't know, that second gluten-free bar really.
Steve?
took it for me.
2. Micah?
I'll say a 2 on this one as well.
2. Greg? 2. That's where I'm at too. Mainly just because if I had to eat it, I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is disgusting. I'd rather go hungry, but I would choose others.
Yeah.
Like a lot of others.
And that's one of the big things, right? We talk about, okay, should these protein bars be your first choice for getting your protein needs met? Absolutely not, right?
Right.
Natural foods, meats, plant-based, as long as you have the right balance, so much better. So if it's an option, a supplement, I want something that's gonna taste good and check all my boxes.
Yeah.
And they're not cheap. All these bars are pretty expensive. So like,
Yeah.
you wanna,
$2 to $3 $4.
oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, easy.
All right. What's our next part we're tasting?
Okay, this one is a curveball. This is lemon zest. It's Luna Whole Nutrition, 8 grams of protein, 190 calories.
So I think this showed up. I cut out a few that were under the 10 grams of protein because is it really a protein bar when it's not that many? But I bought it and I think it was for a brand recognition thing that we kept it here. But when I cut it out, it smelled really good.
So I'll say this, we
Thanks,
talk
Ben.
about protein, using a protein bar during an event to keep your body with the nutrients that it needs to function. We talk about it as pre-workout, post-workout, meal supplement. Candidly, sometimes I just want a sweet treat.
This
And
is
I
a
like
good-
a
this is
little
a
bit
sweet
more
treat,
protein.
yeah.
So this might fall under that, hey, this is a sweet treat, it's not loaded with protein, but it's.
It's better than a
than
candy bar.
Exactly.
Right?
So
If you're gonna have a treat, that this has a higher protein count than your candy bar would be, and it's like 190 calories, you're getting 20 grams of carbohydrate, you're getting lower saturated fat, you've got 2 grams, 200 grams, 13%. So this is way better than a candy bar for you,
Right.
and it tastes pretty good.
It is.
Yeah.
Honorable mention, this is a sweet treat.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. It's
Yeah, sweet treat. I
So-
give it a 4. I mean, the flavor is good. It's still left a little bit in my mouth, but like, yeah, I would eat this. I would eat that.
So take
Than
this to
anything else we've tried.
take
so-
this to the movie theater instead of a Snickers is what you're saying.
Yeah, there you go. But like, this is like a
This is-
step above a granola bar, really.
Right, yeah.
And, you have to also look at the cost. Your granola bar is a lot less expensive probably than this. So, but you can't take a hard-boiled egg into the theater with you.
Oh, you'd be surprised when I'm smuggled into the movie theaters.
You know, you can take that.
Any of these actions.
When you're,
That's
you know,
right.
when you're looking for something to travel with though, like
Yeah.
if you're, you know, if you have dietary restrictions and you're traveling to races and stuff, and maybe you're going to foreign countries, and I know I competed in Africa, and there was different foods there. And I was like, glad I brought some of the stuff, I know my body,
Yeah.
how it
Right,
works.
right.
And so, sometimes it's nice to have some things on hand like this that are palatable and also a little bit better choices.
Yeah.
And you can't read labels in other places, it's good to,
All right, let's rate these. Laura, what do you give it?
yeah, 4.
4? Eric?
yeah, I would say for taste, it's a 4.
Okay.
For the nutrition aspect, it's less than that.
Yeah.
It's one that I would, if I were in the store and needed something, I would pay for it.
Cool. Steve?
4 on taste for sure, that's the best one, but yeah, am I getting this to fuel me on a race? No, I'll stick with 4.
Micah?
So again, sweet treat, it's a 4.
Yeah.
Protein bar, it's a 3,
Yeah.
just because it does taste so good.
Greg?
Yeah, same thing, so I'd give it.
Yeah, I'm going with 3 too. I like the initial hit. I felt like I was having like a lemon
Yeah, okay.
bar or something, but all right. What's this next one?
This is the Promax Protein Bar Chocolate Chip Cookie Dough, 18 vitamins and minerals, and then 20 grams of protein.
So when I saw this, when I bought this, I looked and said, okay, this one, just the packaging and the name, I felt like, okay, these people mean business. This is like, right?
Gluten free, or gluten free.
Well, that's
I will say that most of these actually are gluten-free.
How many calories in this one? 280,
290,
290, okay.
So this ranks higher on the calories.
What about saturated fat?
20 grams of protein. Saturated fat, 4 grams,
So what percent do you need?
20%,
What's high saturated fat?
37
You can always tell they taste better.
calories.
I like the initial hit, but I feel like the,
It dies off though.
Kind of
I think the
swallow a little
chocolate
bit,
is
yeah.
crap,
Very good.
because it feels like the chocolate is confectionery.
It kind of ends with kind of the old NASA bars, you know, just kind of.
Powdery.
Yeah.
Yeah, powder, yeah.
It started strong.
All right, what's the score on this, Laura?
I do 3.
3? Eric?
Yeah, give it 3.
Same.
3? Micah?
I'll sit at that 3 as well.
Greg? Yeah, we're all agreeing. All right, what's the next one?
Next one is Can Do Crisp Almond Butter.
Can do. All right, I'm looking forward to this one.
This tastes more like real food.
10 grams of protein, 2 grams of sugar,
How many calories?
220.
Wow, 220 in that little bar.
I kind of like this one.
I think that's something to note
Sugar,
is
alcohol, 4 grams.
when we take these in little pieces, they can be fairly palatable. If you get a full bar of some of these, you might not finish that full bar.
Yeah, there's only one I would have finished with this. That was the Luna bar. This one tastes like it falls apart easier, it's like got real food in it, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't have as much emulsifiers in it,
Yeah.
trying to keep
But
everything together.
there's a lot of chunkiness left, and I
Yeah.
don't want that in my mouth. But it's not, like, the flavor's not
All right, what's the scores? Laura?
bad. 2.
2?
I give it 3.
Steve?
I'll go 3. This thing tastes like something I would cook in the kitchen that I would enjoy.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Micah?
So just to clarify, it's 220 calories, 17 grams of fat, 18 grams of carbs, and a whopping 10 grams of protein. I'm gonna go with a 2.
High
Yeah,
fat.
That
two.
breakdown is,
High fat, not as high as
Crazy.
protein.
Greg, what do you give it?
Or the 2.5.
2? 2.5?
I guess 2.
All right, I'm gonna go 3. I really liked it.
2.76.
Yeah, we can get rid of
All right, what's the next one? Now, let's talk a little bit about, since we're on the topic of fat, let's talk about, because some fats are good for us, right? We do want some fats, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about fats. What's the next part?
This is the Gold Macro Bar Protein Pleasure Peanut Butter Chocolate Chip. It is organic, vegan, gluten-free, 11 grams of protein.
A little low on the protein, but it's
Like
a protein pleasure bar, so.
I was gonna say, that last one felt like it might have been more on that sweet treat category as well. I do like that this one put macro in the name multiple times.
They're, okay, it's sticky, because it sticks all together.
I couldn't eat a whole bar of
My jaw would have to work really hard.
Yeah.
You know, when you're out there for hours with
Miles
a triathlon,
20
you do not want to sit there and chew something else.
Miles 20 or miles 50.
Well, first thing in the morning, you got a little bit of cotton mouth, this is not happening.
No,
Post workout, a little bit of cotton mouth, not happening.
Wow, the finish on that too.
One for me.
Is it 11 grams protein?
It's almost reminiscent
It's
of,
only 11 grams?
11 grams,
yeah,
290 calories?
39 grams of carbs.
That's way, it's like super sticky, like in your mouth, it's just not. What, corn syrup in that thing?
Reminded me a little bit of like a bit of honey.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, a bit of honey, yeah.
Yeah, we use kind of honey sweet.
Brown rice syrup is the first ingredient with organic
Syrup,
peanut butter
oh,
being
yeah.
the second.
Brown rice, so that's nice.
That's not a very healthy bar, in my opinion, really.
Yeah.
Move right along.
All right, Laura, what are you giving it?
One.
1? Eric?
So like, a
Steve?
lot of these bars
One.
have
I'm
fat.
staying low.
A lot of
Micah?
I'll give it a 2, just because the sweetness does come from stuff that is a little bit more naturally occurring.
Okay.
I'll give it a 1.
1? I'm gonna give it a 2. All right, what's next?
Next one is the Nugo Dark Mint Chocolate Chip.
Okay, we're gonna dive into this. I'm gonna make an admission here. There was one day after I bought these that they were in the card and there was a little bit of meltage. And when I opened these up, it looked like this suffered when all the other bars didn't. Because there's like
That was a good
the
thing.
coloration on it is weird. Like when you buy that when you have that old
chocolate.
Easter candy and you find it a year later and it's discolored.
Well, it has a-
That's what happened to this after like a couple of days. So I was kind of like really questioning already the quality in the.
Has kind of a dry, crumbly, almost stale. Reminds
I
me
don't
of,
like it.
reminds me of a stale,
That's the one.
something that has been in my food storage for a few years and busted out. And
It's like those Rice Krispie treats that you somehow forgot about, and now they're stale.
Oh.
It's stale.
No big deal. I do that one too.
All right,
What was it?
where are we all at? Is everybody at a
I'm
one?
disappointed with them. To be honest,
Okay.
Yeah, that's
That's why I came. I wanted to figure this stuff out.
you know,
I wasn't sure I was gonna give a one today, that is definitely a one.
All right. Who wants to talk about fats? What fats are good for us and which ones are bad? Well, everybody chime in.
obviously, you need a balanced fat diet.
Mhm.
You're not waterproof without it, right? It's all that, the lipids.
Mhm.
And it helps with the integrity of the cell wall, it's really valuable. Whenever I teach people about nutrition, I always tell them not to have naked carbs. Naked carbs being just carbohydrate, like a banana, only. Unless you're going to go work it off right away. But I think there's a lot of value in combining foods. I think in nature foods are found where there's many things, many components in the food. And so it's important to have carbohydrates, protein, and fat.
Yeah,
Not, we kind of get on this protein craze. And honestly, if you get too much protein in your diet, it's bad on the liver. I mean,
Right.
you've got all this nitrogen that has to be eliminated because it's too
Mhm.
much. So I just think you can't neglect any one component of your diet. But healthy fats obviously are better, less processed,
right.
and not things that are deep fried. I mean, we're talking fish.
So what's this part right here?
This is the Robert Irvin's you mentioned?
Yeah.
Robert Irvin's Fit Crunch chocolate peanut butter. High protein bar, 16 grams of protein, 3 grams of sugar, 190 calories, gluten free. There you go, Chef Robert Irvin.
All right. So I love these
Yeah,
bars.
these are my favorite.
I love Robert Irving. Like I watch a lot of his cooking shows.
Restaurant Impossible.
Yeah, Restaurant
I
Impossible.
love it.
Absolutely love it. So I started buying these for his because I'm like, oh, it's Robert Irving, right? Now, we mentioned these are the highest in sugar alcohols, but he also has the best fats too. He actually has added in like all the healthy fats that he's added into this, which I think is the only bar that really mentions the healthy fats that he's added in. So
Who got finished?
It's a better bar, but it still leaves stuff in the mouth. I don't know.
why do you like this one so much, Eric?
I like it because I think it has a natural flavor to it. I think the chocolate is real chocolate.
Mhm.
It has a decent amount of protein in it for the calories, because it's only 190 calories.
Right.
And it would have 16 grams of protein.
16 grams.
And just the taste of it, for me, it's got a little bit of crunch to it, it's got chocolate, it's got the.
This one feels the most like an actual candy
Feels
bar.
almost like a candy
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah, this
Very-
is definitely
very
like a-
satisfying, and I think
Yeah.
macros are, they're good.
All right, what are the ratings on? What would you guys rate this at?
I give it a
Three.
5.
Okay, Laura's 3. I know Eric's 5. What do you give it, Steve?
4. I
Four.
like that. Yeah.
I give it a 4. Michael, what do you give it?
I'll give it a 4.
What are your thoughts on the nutrition? Greg, what do you give it?
I give it a 4.5.
4.5?
So this has a solid balance between the protein and carbs, 16 protein, 14 carbs, 8 fat. When we look at this, the ingredients, Laura's point was fantastic. It's super well balanced, right? So we see different types of fats, we see actually different types of protein. A couple of the bars have done this, where they include whey and plant-based or soy protein.
Yeah,
And that balance, to me, just makes it a lot more palatable.
yeah,
And at the end of the day, again, if you're just gonna have a bite of a bar, it's not gonna do you much good. Being able to finish and enjoy the bar is a big factor. So
Yeah.
it's
There are a lot of different flavors in that one too. There's a
Yeah.
mint chocolate one that was really, really good. There's a
Yeah.
strawberry strudel
Yep,
that's
yep.
phenomenal. It's a lot of really good flavors.
Yeah. All right, what's our next part? Oh, protein puck.
Protein puck.
This is the one, dude.
So we know it's not
So-
very high in.
So this packaging actually represents 2 servings.
Oh.
I don't know who buys something like this and says, I'm gonna eat half of that and save half for later.
So it's a single puck.
A single puck is 2 servings, and this is a brick.
Okay.
All right. Steve's face told us everything I need to know about.
Wow, you have to drink something with it. Okay,
No,
very dry. Sorry, that's
I mean,
dry.
my field just went
That's a
through
lot.
a wheat grain field right now, you know?
I wonder if this is something like a kale smoothie, like after you eat it for like a month straight, you're just like, oh, I think I like that.
I would say it tastes healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it tastes
Like
real
something you don't wanna
It does
eat.
taste like.
I mean,
Well-
it's, yeah, it tastes like
It's like when you
oatmeal,
go trick or
kinda
treating and then one
It's
house they
dry.
have homemade stuff that they're passing out.
healthy bar. It's got bacon in it, maybe, doesn't it?
I think when you take a look at all the ingredients as a whole, this is actually like a really healthy thing for
Does
you.
it
It's
have
actually
fiber?
really, really good for you.
Yeah, this is fantastic as far as the
Nutrition,
natural
as far as
ingredients.
nutrition and everything, I think this is probably one of the best things. But how much protein is in this?
7 grams.
7 grams for half, 14 or 15 for the whole.
So there's
But
oats, there's
15 would
oats
be
then, probably oats,
420
okay?
calories.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about the entire bar, we're looking at a 480 calorie puck with only 15 grams of protein,
Yeah,
35 grams of carbs, and 31 grams of fat.
I wouldn't call this
That's
a
meal
protein
replacement.
bar.
Yes.
This is a
It's
meal.
meal
This is a meal, and it's a very healthy meal.
Yeah.
And I think it's something
You
that
gotta eat it all.
I think it's something that I would acclimate well to. Like I actually like
It's
the
more of a
flavors in this.
food. It is more food. But
Yeah.
I still would.
If you're
I'm gonna
looking
get
for
food
something,
food.
It's got pumpkin seeds.
it's got everything. If you're looking for something that's gonna give you energy throughout the day, really build those reserves, something like that makes a lot of sense.
You
Yeah.
can nibble on that. If you're on a diet, you can nibble on that all day. But I mean.
All right, what's
it
your
tastes-
score?
It tastes more like real food, but I'd still go with a 1.
Laura's doing a
It's dry
1.
for me.
All right,
I can't, yeah.
Eric,
I got 2.
2.
I'd rather do granola. Just have.
I'd go with
just
2,
granola.
it tastes really healthy, though, it's not unfortunate.
Micah.
Since this is, we're looking at it as a protein bar, it's gotta be a 2.
Yeah, I'd say like 3 for the taste of natural, but protein content's pretty low, so I would 2.
I'm gonna go with 3. I actually really did like the flavor. I'm disappointed in the protein aspect. I wish it had a lot more protein in it. If it had the protein count the others, this would probably be a 5 for me, actually. All right,
Okay, this is a Cliff Bar Builder's Protein, this is chocolate mint, 20 grams protein bar,
all right, Builder's Bar.
280 calories. Let's see what I'm on.
So this was one of my go-to bars for a long time.
Me too. Why did you change? Why is it no longer your go-to for you?
Realistically, for me, it comes down to price and macros. So as good as these are, the price point didn't make sense for me to keep going with them. The macro content wasn't quite what I wanted for the price point, but then also the texture, I had to fight these most days.
Okay. What's your, so for me, when I look at these more, I feel like the quality of the ingredients is not that great for these bars. And I feel like there's a lot, this is hard to put down.
Yeah. So far, this is the one that'll make the most mess in your car, right?
Yeah, it's got.
I just feel like the Builder's Bar, just in terms
all
of
over again.
quality, is just not there for me. I like the taste of it,
It's
actually.
got a lot of sugar, alcohol, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
So what scores have you guys given this? 4? 2?
I give it a 3.
3?
2.
Micah?
Still a 3 for me.
Greg?
Agree.
3. I'm probably gonna go with 3 on the taste. Yeah.
So one of the things that I look for in protein bars is really that macro breakdown. And I'd like the carbs and protein to be as close to equal as possible with less fats. Some of that is a personal preference just because of my lifestyle and diet. But that's what most people have to figure out is, hey, what am I
Yeah.
missing that this protein bar is going to supplement?
All right, what's our next bar?
Next one is the protein bar, barbells, caramel cashew.
One thing that so I think the macros is important, but I think another good discussion is sugars. Because sugars is like, I don't think sugars are bad, it's the added sugars and the more natural we can get. I want you guys to kind of add something to it. Because when I was evaluating the bars, if it had a high sugar count, but none of them were added, I'm like, well, is that a bad thing? Because they're coming from better sources, whether they're natural, whether it's a natural sugar or natural sweetener, that's always preferred over something that's not. So Greg, what are your thoughts on sugars as a whole? Is this the latest one?
Yeah. I'm kind of the same boat. I prefer natural sugars over added sugars. I eat a lot of stuff like fruit and stuff that is naturally sweet. It doesn't have carbs, but I try to stay on the more natural route. Even when I'm looking at ingredients for at least for like protein supplements, I look for like as little ingredients as possible, just to make sure that it's like not too many added preservatives or added sugars and stuff like that that'll harm your body over time or not be.
Because a lot of these bars, it'll be like 15 sugar and 15 of them are added. 17 sugar, 13 of them added, right? And then some was like 3 sugars, 2 added. I was like, I'd rather go with 3 sugars, 2 added versus 17, 15 added, right? It might be less sweet, but like the amount of damage being added to the good is way less.
I think they're marketing it as a protein, and they're making it more palatable with the sugar.
Right,
So the purpose of the sugar isn't the same as you find in fruits and other things. It's
Right.
more to make the protein bar palatable, because it's marketed as protein.
right.
So people don't pay attention to the saturated fats, they don't pay attention to the sugar alcohols as much.
Right.
They probably need to.
Yeah.
So, something to consider.
Because those are the things that really set off our day where we're like, oh, now I have low energy because I'm crashing at 2 p.m. Why does that happen? Because our blood sugar is all over the place.
Yeah.
And when our blood sugar is out, then you know a lot about this. Like, this is what kind of leads us to be being pure diabetic. You're saying that you're on that verge, right? Like, this has a lot to do with like chronic illness and disease, inflammation. I think it's probably one of the number one, in my opinion, one of the number one things people should be looking at in anything we eat is like the amount of added sugars that we have.
Sugars will affect your hormones too, then your hormones will affect how you're absorbing other
Your
things.
mental health,
you know,
right? And your mental
fat
health,
and
too.
mental health, so it definitely all ties in.
Yeah,
If
all
you're
right.
still putting chemicals in your body, just gotta consider that.
What are your scores on the barbells?
I like that it didn't leave much in my mouth.
Yeah.
Probably a 3.
3?
but
Eric,
I give it a 5.
5. Okay, Steve,
I'm gonna go 4, I kinda like that.
4. Okay, Micah,
I'll go with the 4 as well. It hits everything from flavor to texture to macros for me, so.
Greg?
Yeah, 4.
4. I'm at a 4 too. All right, we're gonna burn through the next because we're kind of we've done a lot of talking, so we're gonna burn through.
Okay.
I actually have
Which
2
one
more
are you
here.
doing?
Don't forget, you see there like your
Or in this one?
Alright, so this is the organic protein snack bar, peanut butter, 10 grams plant protein.
Is this Orgain?
Orgain, I'm sorry, I said
Orgain,
organic.
okay, Orgain.
Sorry, thank you. Orgain protein snack bar. Vegan, non-GMO, no soy. Okay,
Nope.
No.
This is a no for
You're
Laura.
trash.
10 grams of protein.
All right.
I can't-
This makes me so
I
excited.
can't do the
I
texture.
love it when you're both like 1 and no, and I'm like, haven't tasted mine yet. I'm looking forward to
Anybody
this.
listening will be like, you wanna try it just so you can see what kind of reaction you're gonna have to it.
It's funny because the texture reminds me of raw cookie dough, but not in a good way, in all the wrong ways.
Think you feel like you're gonna get sick from eating that.
I don't mind it so much.
Is there a negative number?
I actually don't
Negative
mind.
1 on that one.
I don't mind this one so much. All right. So Laura, you're giving this a 1.
Yeah, I don't think I can do that one yet.
Eric, 1. Well, I'm tasting that chocolate now. The aftertaste is not
Yeah.
good. 2. Yeah, I'm going 2 with that aftertaste.
I'm a 1
Micah?
on that.
What?
That's a 1.
1. Greg?
I'm actually gonna go 3.
3.
Yeah.
All right. All
I
right.
liked it better.
I
think
I like it.
Stick with it, alright, no problem.
Yeah. I liked it until the aftertaste hit me. So, but all right. This is the RX bar, right?
No, oh, yes.
Oh, RX bar. Okay.
Oh, this is the worst one I've had.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
He's already into it.
3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 4 cashews, 2 dates.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
actually real
Yeah.
food, actually. I do like these better.
I've got to give them a prop for their marketing because it definitely grabs you with this, like, hey, we're all organic,
big
we're
bite,
simple,
man.
you want this.
You feel like Rocky.
Oh, jeez.
It reminds me of, what's that?
Whoa.
There's a cough syrup that says,
What?
it tastes disgusting and it works.
What is that?
Yeah,
Okay, that's a three, that's a three.
Okay, 3 for Laura,
One for
one for Eric.
One for Tate.
Steve, what are you giving it?
One.
One?
Not negative.
All right, Micah, what are you giving it?
Oh, I gotta. Ow. Yeah, it's a one.
1 for Micah. Greg, what do you give it?
I have a feeling I'm gonna be.
I'm having a hard time to.
Okay, so I'm gonna break the mold on this. I love these bars. I don't know why, but maybe it's my preconceived like experience with these, but I'm gonna give this one a 4 because I had one at an event, and I think my first reaction was the same, like, oh, this is okay.
Kind of,
But once I finished it, I was like, that was really good.
they're actually not, it's more like food, that was more like.
The ingredient list is really good.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Yeah, and it's
It's
sweet.
in your face.
It's sweet
This
with the
is what-
dates. It's the dates that sweeten it. There's nothing really out sweetening it.
That would be
It's
something to travel with.
I'd be honest, I've never been a fan of dates, so
Okay.
that
You
would
don't like
probably
dates,
be what
that's-
it is.
All right, what are we on?
Honey
The honey stinger?
Honey stinger, nut and seed bar, peanut, sunflower seed.
Yes, I love these, okay.
Okay.
I've used their gels before, and I'm pretty sure they actually have these mini waffles. as
Yeah,
well,
the
that I
waffles are
really
awesome.
enjoy.
Waffles are really
I've never had one of their bars.
I
Yeah,
wonder if it was you that told me about honey stinger waffles for races. Because I started taking the waffles to races. when I was doing it.
oh, the vanilla waffle,
Mm,
they
yeah.
sell them in the small ones. I'm a huge fan,
Oh, yeah.
because this has got natural protein in it.
Oh, that's good.
That is one of my favorites, that's a 5 for me. Their pumpkin ones are really good.
Laura's a 5. Eric,
This
what do
is
you
a
got?
real, this is
5?
real food, this is a real bar.
Oh, that's good.
So it's
Steve's
whey
a five.
milk protein,
How many calories?
But these are expensive though.
260,
Yeah, they are
They're expensive.
14 grams of protein.
21 grams of carbs, and 15 grams
They
of
might go 4.
We're gonna go
Well
4?
balanced. I think it's a well balanced bar, and it tastes good,
I'm choking at
it's real food.
Where you at,
Sell
Mike?
it. What payroll are you on there, man?
What do you got, Micah?
I'll give it a 4. I'd like it to have a little bit more protein, but as far as giving you energy as well, especially for daily activities.
I think this is our highest ranking one right now.
When I get, I go to my volleyball games, I'll bring those, cause that's like a meal.
That'll keep you going.
Where, what's our next part?
Pure protein, chocolate deluxe.
Pure has been around for a solid chunk of time. And in the gym industry, fitness industry, they've made a great name for themselves for consistency.
Yeah, that is a better texture.
180 calories, 21 grams of protein.
Actually, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's a 4. Pretty,
Pure has gotten their formula right over the years for sure. It's a 4 for me.
it's a smaller bar, I like that.
Okay, Micah, you gave it a 4. Laura, what'd you give it?
4.
Eric?
3.
Steve?
3.
Greg? 3. I'm at a 3 too. I'm not.
I bet they're different flavors. This
Yeah,
is
they've got a lot,
chocolate
they've got a good variety of flavors, and most of them are wins. There's a couple that are
Part of
definitely
this could be
no's.
the flavor, but the texture was really good on those, and it didn't leave a lot.
I'm just not
It wasn't too hard to chew.
I'm just not a big fan of like pure chocolate stuff.
Mhm.
I like the
Yeah, that was a tough one to get.
This is
All right,
a
what's this
raw-
next one?
Raw Rev, plant-based protein bar, creamy peanut butter and sea salt. 13 grams of protein, 2 grams of sugar. Raw
That
Rev.
tastes pretty real, food-ish.
Try though.
but that's how peanut butter is too.
Yeah.
I'd rather have a big peanut butter in it. You'd like
Okay,
that.
all right, or-
There you go. I didn't mind that too bad.
I will say that macro-wise, this is fairly well balanced. Added sugars, it's only got, if I can go right along it, it says 0 added sugars. So 2 grams of sugar, 10 grams of fiber, which is
You
solid.
have to have water with that though.
You have to have
Cannot-
water.
you cannot.
I needed
I
a lot
give
of
it
water
two.
with that one bite.
I give it 2, you can't eat that without one.
So if you're
Well,
trying to
only
drink a
having
gallon
one
of water a day, if you're trying to drink a gallon of water a day, this is the bar for you.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of.
That's why I eat raw broccoli. I ate raw broccoli to help me get my water
Get it
intake.
all out of your mouth?
Maybe this is my next thing. All right, what's the score, Laura?
Yeah, 2.
2. Eric?
3.
3. Steve?
2.
Micah?
I'll give it a 2.
2. Greg?
There's no way I can eat.
I will-
more.
I'll give it a 4.
4. Why'd you give it a 4?
I like peanut butter.
All right.
It's like tastes more like real peanut butter.
Cool.
And I do try to drink
Yeah,
a
it
lot of
does
water
taste
anyway,
like
so.
I'm gonna give it a
It
3.
tastes like dry peanut butter, you know?
Yeah. All right. What's our next bar?
Built Bar,
Oh,
Bill.
Salt
All right.
Department,
Bill has a good reputation.
not for me.
not for me.
No
Good
way.
marketing is what it is.
It's like getting.
It is way too chewy for me.
Yep, it's good marketing.
So Built has definitely changed their formula a couple times as well, for better and for worse.
I can't stand it.
You know, it was just, it's too much of a job.
It's like a gel, it's like a chocolate covered gel.
I'll be honest, they have a bar called Puffs, which
Okay.
texture wise is much better.
Still have a chemical kind of taste to me though.
I'm going with the 2. I mean, that's a lot of work to eat a whole bar of that. It's like a chewy, you get stuck in your teeth. That would be never anything I would use during.
What'd you give it, Laura?
When I get a chance to open up my mouth, I want.
Your
I
1?
can't stand Built.
Okay, Greg, where do you give it?
Give it a 1.
Micah?
It's a 2 for me.
We just
I feel like I'm having, this is a salty caramel one. That's why I think it's because I'm like really struggling.
All right, Lenny and Larry's the complete cookified bar, peanut butter, chocolate chip, 12 grams plant-based protein. Man, I gotta get that Built bar in my mouth. That's disgusting.
Yeah,
Where's the palate cleanser?
this may not be better though.
All right, come on, Lenny.
No, it's not.
I've had Lenny and Larry's other stuff like the cookies. And here, pass the Bill. And it's not my palate's friend.
I think part of it's the flavor.
Everybody got it?
I think that's a 1 for me. I would not eat that again.
Okay, Eric, what do you
I
give
give
it?
that 3.
3? Steve?
I'm at 2. That was definitely above Built.
Can you hand me another water?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
What do you give this, Greg?
I'm getting 3 bottles of water here today.
Micah, what do you give it?
It's a 2.
2. I think when you take a look at like the nutrition guide though, it ranks pretty high in terms of its nutrition value, not keeping into account like the quality of those
That's
nutrition
if you
elements.
can get it in your body.
Yeah, they definitely focus on, hey, we check your nutrition boxes.
Right,
We just don't necessarily check them well and make it tasty.
right. All right, what's our next one?
Nix,
Nick's.
keto, chocolate and peanut.
All right.
Tastes
This is
very
like a
artificial
marathon,
taste.
y'all. Like, we have the
Tastes
fighter
very-
thread.
Tastes fake.
All right.
Yeah, a little bar.
So let's talk about a little bit about fiber because I think fiber is one of those like the middle child in the nutrition world where everyone forgets about it, right?
Until they need to,
Until
until
they
they're
need
having
to.
problems.
Right, but it's also like one of the most essential things that we have because without fiber, like we just don't absorb the nutrients. Like if you have 0 fiber, you're not going to actually take in the good stuff, right? Or
Too
good,
much fiber, it goes right through you and you don't absorb it too.
right?
It's a balance for
Oh,
sure.
I did not.
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, soluble fiber too. We just don't have enough soluble fiber in our diet. You know, your oats, and then that one bar, would have given us that a lot. Had probably the most fiber in it.
Probably, yeah.
I didn't know what's a soluble fiber.
Yeah,
Or
soluble
I
fiber.
didn't know what's a soluble fiber.
Usually it's like oats, there are only few, but obviously it suspends versus the other one that's roughage, doesn't
Yeah.
suspend.
So natural stuff like that is soluble. If it's not natural, it'll say like corn soluble fiber. Yeah, it'll say it on there. So a lot of the ingredients will say soluble, whatever fiber, whatever.
But you have to have both, so, you know, people just don't get enough of it.
All right, what's the score? Steve, you're giving us a 3?
Steve, and I thank that bar for finally clearing the Built bar out of my mouth. So.
Lauren, what do you give it?
1.
1. Eric?
Thank you for water.
Micah?
Thank you for your
I'll
water.
actually give that a 3.
3. Greg?
I got a 2.
2. I'm gonna go with 3. I didn't mind. I thought it was good. I felt like it added a lot of new flavor, but you're right on the chocolate quality there. Which one's
This
this?
is the Lara bar, chocolate chip cookie dough, no artificial sweeteners, plant-based, gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, 6 real ingredients. Lara
That
bar.
does taste a little more natural.
6 real ingredients.
So Larabar ranks at the top in terms of quality when they're what they're putting in, but it's very low on the protein. I don't know that I consider this a
This
protein
is
bar.
more of a travel bar.
I think it's a travel bar, maybe like a snack that's not bad for you.
But I like the other one.
I feel like this is a healthy snack.
Luna bar is better, kind of,
Yeah.
than this brand, but
That's pretty good.
that was actually real food.
like
I would
that.
say a 3.
Okay, Laura, you're gonna go 3.
Choose to buy that.
Eric, 3. Steve,
3, I like that, but that's good.
Micah.
I'll give it a 3. Again, it's super low on protein,
Can you pass? I need.
but quality wise, it's good.
You said 3.
Yeah.
Greg, what do you give it?
I'll give it a 2, just like the whole thing has 4 grams.
Yeah.
So like, what I eat is 4.
Yeah, on my list, I actually put a cross through it if it had less than like 10. Just because like it doesn't really. This is more of a bar.
So this is another one where it's like, hey, I'm meeting my protein needs, but I might need a little bit extra carbs.
I will say-
getting through. Yeah.
My wife likes to buy these for our kids as like an afternoon snack
Yeah, it's a
or
great
like something to eat like on the playground, right?
Definitely see that.
I will say a number of dietitians that I've worked with do love bar bars. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit better on the quality side,
No, it's good.
they're typically.
Which one's this? Is this the Taos?
This is the house.
So this one, I think the
That's more like real
packaging
food, but
says this is real legit stuff, right? Because it's like a,
I think that's real food. I still, it's not my favorite. Maybe I travel with it. and if I-
6 grams of protein.
yeah, it's not a lot of protein. It kind of falls in the Lara bar category, right?
No, that's a good point. Like, yeah, what would you travel with? What would you run with? What would you?
I would not, I mean,
I
it's
wouldn't
got stuff
eat.
in my mouth. I can't use that in a race, but if I was traveling, maybe, I'd still give it a 2. It wouldn't be my choice.
Yeah.
But
Eric,
it's
what do you
real
give it?
food.
3.
Tasty.
Steve?
3, 2, 2.
2.
We're good.
Micah?
I'll give that one a 3.
Greg?
2.
I'm gonna go 2 as well. I like it, but I don't think it's something I would buy over. Like if someone handed it to me, I'd eat it, but I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah. Wow, that one's like falling apart right there. Oh, good, I'm gonna take a small piece.
I've got a box of these in my car is right.
Okay, wait, we're over here.
Oh my gosh, please, no.
We're the
No, thank you.
all real, plastic free protein
Oh,
bar.
plastic free.
Peanut butter, Irish,
Like one.
Irish grass-fed milk.
This is all real, you said?
Oh, it's plastic free because it says each bar stops 1 plastic bottle from entering, so it's the packaging.
Okay, I was like,
Yeah, I know.
I
But
like-
no,
we didn't
what if the
consider
rest of them,
plastic.
go to the Built Bar and that's all plastic. That's
Oh,
just funny. I am not Built Bar fan.
thank you for bringing the water, I'm telling you.
I almost did not bring anything. I was like, oh, I probably brought to bring some. This all real bar actually, when I looked at the quality across in terms of like less preservatives, less additives, less of the bad stuff and worldly good stuff, is ranked at like the top. It's actually like,
Surprising.
I think it's one that the more I ate, the more I.
It doesn't have the bad after flavor that the other ones do, but I'm sorry, that's a 2. It's too dry for me.
So this one is milk protein. So anyone that's lactose intolerant.
okay,
But
maybe I'm thinking of a different bar because I don't think the milk protein one ranked for me.
It's a 2.
I'm thinking of a different bar.
I actually really
So
like
Laura,
this
you give it a 2,
Yeah.
I give it a 3.
2, 3, Steve,
2.
2, Micah.
I'm actually gonna give this one a 4.
Okay,
I'm
4.
a fan of this one.
Greg?
I was gonna go 5.
5.
Yeah, 20 protein, 15 carbs,
You like that, huh?
216.
It's limited
Which
ingredients.
is a very specific number.
But the ingredients are very limited, so there's not a ton of additives in it.
I'm gonna go 3. I think it could be more for me. I just feel like my mouth is full of a lot of other things right now, and I think if we were going in reverse order, we might be scoring some of these different too.
It's
Right?
like the 3rd water bottle at this point, so.
This one is
So, Power Crunch.
Power Crunch Triple Chocolate.
You guys typically
I
fingers,
like,
it
I
doesn't.
really like the wafer, but the chocolate does not taste
No,
good to me.
no, if I'm gonna go with something like that, I'm going with a Kit Kat, straight up, not bad, not bad.
Okay, so Laura, you're giving it a 1,
One, yeah, it's not good.
Eric, 2,
It's bad,
Well, it's good
isn't
at the
it?
beginning.
Love the wafer.
It's like protein powder.
Yeah,
Steve.
it's like dry scooping a
Steve.
protein.
Wow.
Steve's like, give this to the CIA when they're interrogating someone. Steve's like, a final spill. Here's my social security number.
Lunchtime, anything you want.
All right, what do you give it, Micah?
It's a 2 for me. I do love the wafer.
I like those Kit
I
Kat.
like the wafer, but go for a Kit Kat.
Go for it.
Kit
Greg?
Kat's cheaper too.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
probably
gonna
not
go.
that
The first initial bite was really good,
It's like Crunch.
and then it was like dressed for
Then it was
I had a hope, you know those wafer cookies you could buy at the store? I had a hope that it was gonna resemble that.
Oh, no, it falls apart, it's just a mess.
All right, what's this one?
Kirkland,
Kirkland.
Costco, protein bar, chocolate brownie, 2 grams of sugar, 10 grams of net carbs, 21 protein, 10 grams of fiber, gluten-free, made with real chocolate and artificial flavor.
All right,
It
pass
tastes
this down.
canny, it tastes like a can.
nothing to talk.
I'll be honest, I don't want any more chocolate, anything
It
after
has
Monday.
a metallic, it has a metallic, yeah, no, thank you,
Yeah.
no.
I do love Costco though.
They have gone so wrong with
Extra
protein
point,
bars.
Mr. Costco?
I'm glad none of you are people pleasers. Oh, everything's a 5. No, it's like, this
It's
is,
the real deal here.
this is
people.
real honest feedback. All right, so Laura, you're at a 1.
Two,
Eric?
you know,
1. Oh, you said it 2?
the flavor isn't as bad as some of the other ones,
Okay.
but there's some like metallic.
What do you got, Steve?
I give it a 2. It's not worse than a Built Bar, but it was almost there.
Okay. Where you at, Micah?
It's a 1. If you can deal with the texture of it,
No.
more power to you.
But
I can't.
I was saying a 1.
1.
That was really hard to eat.
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm a 1 too. There's a lot of things I would choose before this, or even choose to go without.
Used to go with that.
You know, protein drinks are a lot more tempting. Protein drinks are just.
All right, here we go.
Oh,
This is the
Perfect Bar.
Perfect Bar peanut butter original refrigerated protein bar, 17 grams of protein. Enjoy
See
1
how
week on
perfect
the
it
go.
is, y'all. We'll be just close to that. If I can get
So
the
this is
other
a
out of my
full
mouth.
protein bar.
this is one of my favorite bars. But I think I might be doing some more bars. After this taste test, I think I'm going to be buying some other bars ahead of it. I don't even need to taste this. I know that.
This is actually not bad. It actually falls apart in your mouth a little more, like it's not gonna.
To me, this feels like real legit cookie dough. Like I'll eat this when the kids are eating like a slice of cake. I'll go grab this and have like, I'm just grabbing a cookie dough.
That's actually not bad. I like the texture.
Yeah,
Cold.
yeah.
It's left.
But in a race, that's,
It's not
does
over.
that,
Well,
you know?
I haven't gotten sick. I've kept these out in my car for like 4 or 5 hours and haven't gotten sick. So,
Okay.
not that I'm endorsing that you can let that out. I'm just saying I haven't
I
gotten
think
sick.
Just sitting in a drop bag somewhere, this would be okay, I guess, I don't know.
That's for you to find out,
G2G or.
And I would try that.
I would give that a 4. That's actually one of my better. It
Yeah.
tastes a little more real ingredients.
Steve, what do you get it?
3.
3?
What's the?
Micah?
I was excited for a minute, and then I saw that it's 340 calories.
It's almost
A
middle.
large chunk from fat.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Protein's
how I like
actually
it.
low,
It
yeah.
says at the top, it says 1 week, what does it say? Enjoy 1 week or something?
Enjoy 1 week on the go.
So it's a meal.
So what's the first ingredient? Is that peanut butter? I mean, that
It's-
tastes
yeah.
like peanut butter.
Peanut butter, honey.
That's definitely
So,
more real.
What do you give it,
Yeah.
Micah?
That's
If
a
you're
better.
looking for a protein bar, then I would give this a 2. If you're looking for something
A
more
meal
meal
replacement.
replacement, it'd be closer to
But a lot of the fat food
That's-
come from the peanut.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a
Because
good.
peanuts have a high fat content.
Yep.
So if it's quality peanut butter, the fat may not be bad if you're low fat in your other areas.
I'd say that's
Depends on what
one of
your
the
goals
Yeah.
are. for your
What do you give it,
lifestyle,
Greg?
that's for sure.
I give it like a 4.
4. Cool.
Yeah.
It tastes like a texture.
All right, what's the next one?
Last one, G2G bar protein, peanut butter
G2G.
chocolate chip, 4 grams fiber, essential fats, no preservatives, naturally flavored, 18 grams protein, gluten free.
I mean,
All right, this is the last one.
Yeah.
We've probably all had an equivalent of about 5 or 6 bars, maybe.
Yeah, we have. I'm good. That is definitely one of the best ones.
Ooh, that tastes like a cookie.
That's like a 5 for me.
That's fine for me too.
Thus, Honey Stinger and G2G are my go-to.
All right,
Or it's better as you do
5.
it.
No.
Steve?
That's
I
real
give
good.
that a 4, I like that.
Real good.
I like that a lot.
They have better, they have a lot of flavors.
What do you give it, Micah?
14 fat
I
and
give it-
25 grams. I'll give it a
Honey
4.
Stinger too.
That's pretty solidly balanced.
Yeah.
I feel better about my.
I think for the
I feel
cold
better
bars,
about
this
what
one
I eat.
outperforms the other one, right?
Honey Stinger
Yeah.
and G2G. I really like that.
Right. Yeah, that was great.
Increase the cinnamon
All right.
stuff.
So that's all of them.
This was good too.
That's 30 bars.
Yeah.
You taste it, that's a
It
lot.
Felt like, what, we ate 2 or 3 of them? Full?
Yeah,
I'm
right
glad-
over.
I'm glad I didn't have lunch.
Well, I confirmed that I can't stand Built Bar. I knew coming in this, I couldn't, and it still stands.
All right, so you're anti-build, what's another bar you would not have?
All of them. I mean, I'm just gonna.
You realize that this is not what you'd rather.
Well, yeah,
do.
because again, if I'm not gonna use these on races because there's so much water that you need to intake some of these things, right?
Mhm.
And I'm a runner, I'm just a runner.
Yeah.
Distance, right? And again, I'm gonna fuel up. I need hydration. I'm also a desert rat from Arizona, so hydration is it, and not so much fuel. And also, for me, after run, I don't eat a lot. But that's just
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
So
I'm lower calorie.
I'm gonna fuel not on bars, I'm gonna fuel on food. Is
Right.
where I'm gonna go. If I need something, I'm gonna go, something with taste, and I wanna
Okay.
not feel like I just put my mouth through a wheat field or something.
Okay. Eric, you have a couple bars a day, right?
Yeah, I do, yeah, so I'm just kind of your average consumer guy.
Yeah.
And so I eat them mostly for the taste, but secondarily for the macros and the nutrition that I'm trying to hit, because I do have a plan, a nutrition plan that I'm following. So my go-to right now is Fit Crunch, that's probably one of my favorites. Really enjoyed the Stinger, that was a new one to me.
Uh-huh.
I would buy that and use that. The G2G, I would buy that, that was a 5, I would buy
Yeah.
that and use that as well. So found some new ones here that I would use. For me, it's more of the ones that I would pick as opposed to the ones, there were plenty
Right.
that are out there that I just wouldn't spend money on, wouldn't
Right.
buy just to eat daily, so.
Cool. Michael, I know you're in this industry a lot, but were you pleasantly surprised with anything that say, hey, I think I'm going to start looking at this a little bit deeper?
I was actually pleasantly surprised by how many found a way to balance a good macro nutrient spread with some quality ingredients.
Yeah.
Because for a lot of people, right, it's the number one thing for my non-athletic clients is they struggle to get their protein needs in each day.
Yeah.
So being able to find one that has closer to that 20 grams, that tastes good, feels good, and is natural. I was impressed that there was a good, I think, 3 or 4.
What were some of those?
Met those. I wish I could remember.
Okay.
30.
I
know. But I'm pretty sure I gave a couple, at least 4s.
So I'll tell you the ones you gave 4s. You gave G2G a 4.
Definitely.
You gave the Honey Stinger a 5. You gave the Bear Bells a 4. The Robert Irving. Oh no, sorry, that's not you. You gave the Pure Protein a 4. A Honey Stinger a 4. Bear Bells. Robert Irving. Yeah, I was right on those. Yeah, Think Bar you gave a 4. And then I can't read my handwriting. The one before Power Crunch.
I think that as long as people are aware of what they're trying to fuel themselves for,
Yeah.
and that there's plenty of options out there for them, which is a great thing, as long as they're also aware that there's some things that are definitely just not going to be for them.
Yeah. Greg, what are your thoughts? You spend a lot of time in this space. Like, what are your thoughts?
So I don't consume protein bars.
Right.
I try to stay away from stuff that's individually packaged and processed. So I like to get all my protein and nutrients from food, chicken breast, eggs,
Right.
rice, vegetables, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I was surprised to find that a lot of these did taste like real food.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would still spend the $2 to $3 a bar
Yeah.
on 20 grams of protein when I can get like 60 with like just chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I eat mostly for the nutrients. I eat chicken breast. I eat the same thing every day, right?
Yeah.
3
And
ounces of chicken is what, 28 grams? Not all of these, that matches any of these here.
You said 3 ounces of chicken?
I eat like, I don't know, like
3 ounces
8
of
to 10
tuna,
maybe.
same.
Yeah.
28.
So it's like I get a lot more.
I think it's interesting that, so you probably, I don't know if you might be the same, but like you eat most of your food just like in its natural form.
Yeah.
And you rank those more natural bars higher than anybody else did. So I think you kind of developed a palate for like, your body says, this feels real. This is what I know is good for me. This is what I like. And I think there's a good lesson in that, when we gravitate towards the things that are healthier for us versus more preserved things, our body's going to be inclined to be attracted to those things again. And so, Laura, what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I feel better about, like, I promote Honey Stinger product and I promote G2G, and there's
Yeah.
a reason.
Yeah.
And you all agreed, you didn't know that coming into it. and
Right.
tested. But those are the products that I've tried a ton of stuff over the years, and those are the things that are palatable. But there's also the nutrition component. But again, go to the real food. You should only be using these as a supplement to what you're doing. Now, your triathletes and your runners and stuff aren't your average people too.
Right.
So supplements are needed. But, learning your body and getting used to having real food, so your body craves real food, and then you start feeling a lot better too. There's a whole component of electrolytes, and there's so much more to nutrition than just protein or protein bars. You've gotta have that balance of foods, and we're learning more and more about food, so
Yeah.
you have to have a variety of color. I always tell my athletes to color your plate with
Right.
all the colors, not the fake colors, not the Kool-Aid colors. But fruits and vegetables are colored for.
Here's yellow number
reason.
5,
Yeah,
red number
yeah,
4.
saw that. But strawberries and the things that are
Yeah.
in that, and pumpkin and vitamin A and all the colors, natural colors actually give you a lot of nutrients. So if you're getting the same colors over and over, add some beets in there, add some other
Yeah.
good colored food, and you're gonna get all those nutrients.
Yeah, I think we've heard this a number of times today. Like, if you're looking for protein as like to supplement something, these are not the best ways to do it, right? Because protein, like a lot of us have said, have it in its most natural form. That's gonna be not only just the most amount of protein, but it's also gonna be the highest quality. You're gonna get the most bang for the buck. It's cheaper, yeah.
And it's
So-
bioavailable. Like,
Yeah.
if you're consuming
Right.
it, the package is one thing, but is your body actually absorbing it?
Right,
If it's
yeah,
not- If
exactly.
it's more bioavailable in natural form
Yep.
than in any processed thing they stick together, that's got nature.
In
Yeah.
a pinch, for convenience, to fill in the gaps, I think these serve a purpose.
Travel.
Yeah, I think you and I are probably more similar. Like, I have about 1 bar a day because I like the convenience of it. I like that I can grab something that has a lot of nutrients and my macros in there, and it's not a Snickers or something else, right? So I like that convenience of it, right? And so I've been looking for like the expansion to add variety to my list of things, but I think the other thing I'd say is like I'll be doing this on the back end after this is what's the quality of all of this stuff going into, right? Because a lot of the macros can look the same, but it's not the same. It's like gasoline is gasoline, and so we understand what is the difference between 85, 87, 89, and 91, right? There's different qualities, right? And the same thing with all of these macros. They can all look the same and do the same thing, but are they really giving us the same performance? So I'll be adding that in on the back end here.
General rule of thumb for quality is that the higher quality the food, the easier and more the body will synthesize it so that it can use it. Whereas the lower the quality, you actually have to eat more to get the same benefits.
Right.
And more calories is not always the answer. It's rarely the answer. So
Right.
Yeah, it's like a grass-fed beef, that's the best kind of stuff for you, but it's also the most expensive and the hardest to get. But you can buy cheaper beef, but you're not getting the same.
it's an
And it may not be
efficiency
cheaper because you got to eat more to feel more full, right? Like,
And the way that you feel,
yeah.
but the grass-fed is more of a financial commitment, and time commitment.
Then how much protein do you really need? I think, if they're listening in and they need to know how to calculate, take your body weight in pounds, divide it by 2.2, get it in kilograms. And most people are between 0.8 and 1.2 grams per kilogram. So, for a person my size,
We're all
you might need
in the
55.
US. We have no idea. What
I
that
got you
means.
on this one. So
You know,
if you want it in
so-
pounds, it's 0.5 all the way up to 1 gram per pound.
Yeah,
Um,
max out at 1 gram per pound.
what was that?
Max out at 1 gram per pound.
Yeah,
So
as
you
far
only
as
need, like-
benefits
But no
go.
less than 0.5.
No less than 0.5, and that's the government's recommendation. And 0.5 is kind of pushing it.
Yeah,
But 0.5 minimum, after 1 gram per pound, you have diminishing returns.
Yeah.
So is it necessary?
Too much nitrogen. So for a person my size, I might need, and most people in here, we're gonna be around 50 to 55 grams.
Yeah.
Maybe 60 if you're larger. That's, your protein bar, you're getting 30. So, and then you're getting the other foods that you have on top of that. So,
Yeah.
you've gotta watch out for the toxicity, getting too much. So
Yeah.
how do you know that? Start documenting what you're having, calculate it, figure it
Yeah.
out, and then see where you're at.
Well, we need to wrap up. So I appreciate you guys being here. If anybody's watching, I appreciate you watched. If you watching on the replay, thanks for watching the replay. But this has been great. I appreciate all your input. I'm gonna compile all this and so you guys can have it. And if you ever choose to eat a protein bar, which it doesn't think I don't think you will, right? But anyways, I appreciate you guys being here, and it's been good to make friends with you guys too. So it's really cool.
So these are the Costco stuff.